Welcome to Weekend Confirmed Question of the Week. I'm Jeff Mattas. This week's question comes from Digital Boy, pronounced Digital Boy. He says, which franchise has run its course and needs to be canceled or rebooted? This is sort of a touchy question because, every series has its fans. I'm going to sort of approach this in sort of a more general way. I tend to think that if a game gets 2 or 3 sequels in, it's probably about time to rethink the series itself and maybe think about new gameplay mechanics, a new angle to take, a spin-off perhaps. And this especially applies to, a lot of the yearly franchises that we see, like Call of Duty. Yes, it's more Call of Duty. This time around in COD Blops 2, we're going to get more, future weapons and stuff like that. But really, it is what it is. I'd like to see them, do something a little bit more unique with the gameplay. Of course, the situation like that with long-running series like that, or Halo, or any of the competitive shooters, you really run the risk of sort of alienating your core fan base. So, while I'd like to see things sort of, freshen things up every few years, I don't necessarily expect that to happen for certain series. As far as reboots go, there's actually a bunch of, really good classic series that are either being rebooted or I think really should be rebooted. Assassin's Creed looks like it's sort of going to do a halfway reboot with the new game with all the open world forest running and different architecture and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see really how different it is from the other games. Then you've got stuff like Thief, the Thief series. Awesome. There is a new Thief game in the works by the folks that did the new Deus Ex reboot. So looking forward to that. But then, you've also got stuff like, classic series like Psychonauts or Grim Fandango. And those aren't really reboots, but I'd like to see those, sort of resurge with a modern polish and modern, sort of gaming tropes, things that, would make it, make them presentationally geared for more of a modern era. So that's kind of, and then I guess the only other thing that I'd like to see rebooted would be some of these flying space simulators like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter or Free Space or, Wing Commander, any of those. I think that's sort of an area that's missing. I know that's not exactly what you meant by rebooted, but yeah, I think just in general, if you're talking about canceling a franchise or rebooting it, you really just have to look at it and go, is the series stale? And a series can get stale these days and still sell very well. So, the two, just because something should be rebooted or maybe put on the shelf for a while before the next iteration comes out, doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. But good question. Thanks.
Game that happened with me at E3 a couple years ago. But I can't tell it to you right now because it's already on.
I know
YouTube.
Braid doesn't have much
If you go to YouTube and type in Burrito of Fate, the Burrito of Fate
really
story
comes
is probably
together
the most
nicely.
legendary
The
story
amazing thing about Braid is that it
has
actually
ever
has
happened
two
to me
endings,
or I've ever told.
two different interpretations.
So go ahead and
Both
go to
are
YouTube
actually
and look
valid.
up
So I think
the Burrito of Fate story.
Super Mario Brothers ending where you
Share in with you.
Service tonight.